Today on Ballistic Barbecue, I'm going to be cooking up an absolutely amazing carne asada recipe on Lone Star Grill's El Fuego Trio. Let's get going. Quick thank you to Lone Star Grillz for sponsoring this video. As many of you know, I live in San Diego, California, and we have some amazing Mexican food here. The proximity of Mexico, I mean, I used to go to Mexico just to have lunch sometimes, so we're very close. The type of food we hear, it's Baja influenced, and my carne asada recipe is based on a few very authentic recipes that I've tried. A lot of things have come together, and I've added one ingredient that may raise a few eyebrows, but they sell this ingredient at Mexican restaurants or Mexican mercados, so I'm sure that occasionally a Mexican uses this ingredient. Anyway, the first thing I did was about over 24 hours ago was I made my marinade and marinated the meat. In this bowl, I'm throwing in 1 cup of freshly squeezed orange juice. And the reason it's this kind of a funky color is this is blood orange, courtesy of my sister-in-law. Put that in there. 3/4 cup of freshly squeezed lime juice. 1/4 cup soy sauce. This will get a few comments. I don't care. 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce, and I know plenty of Mexicans that use Worcestershire sauce. More umami. 1/4 cup white vinegar. 1 bottle of a nice dark beer, and I like Modelo Negra. I think you need a nice full-bodied beer for this type of recipe. And I have here 1 teaspoon of cumin, 1 teaspoon of paprika, 1 teaspoon of a mild California chili, and 1 teaspoon of chili de árbol. Some wind rolling in. Oh, and 1 teaspoon of Mexican oregano. 8 cloves of crushed and minced garlic, and then 1 jalapeno pepper chopped, and I removed the pith and the seeds. Then 1 cup of finely chopped cilantro. Just whisk together here. To this I'm going to add 2 pounds of flap meat. This is beef flat or ranchera. You'll see it sometimes in the Mexican markets. This makes a really good carne asada. Submerged here. Now we can cover this and put it in the fridge. I'm going to actually transfer this into some large Ziploc bags and put it in the fridge. 8 hours minimum, really, preferably 24 hours or maybe even a little more than that. I always try to go at least 24 hours in. The type of meat I'm using is flap meat. You know, sometimes at the mercados they'll call it ranchera meat, but any like thin cut of beef will do. You know, skirt steak, something like that. Even like little thin ribeyes, if you get a deal on that, will be amazing. So, got the El Fuego Trio all ready to rock. We're gonna grill this meat up. The setup's pretty basic. On the live fire side, I have lump charcoal, it's mesquite lump charcoal, and some nice, pretty large chunks of mesquite wood. I have the upper shelf set up as a warming station. As things are finished, I'll just pop them up there. On the pellet side, I have that sear plate in place, so the fire pot is open. I have a little grill right here that I can warm tortillas up on, so I have it pushed all the way back, so this will be the cooler part of the griddle. And then right here, if I need some additional help with cooking vegetables, I'll just plop them on the grill right above the fire there. So first thing I'm gonna do is this is some avocado oil. It's got a very high smoking point. I'm gonna throw some corn on. So at this point, I have the lower damper fully opened, and the grate's at its lowest point. I'll raise and lower this as I'm cooking. When I want to start getting some, nice char, actually cooking corn, that's what I want. I'll raise it up to the very top. So I'm looking to get some nice char on the corn, and then I'll transfer it over to that pellet grill side just to, kind of finish the cook. Lower this really fast. Spray the corn with a little avocado oil. Then I have here some salt, pepper, garlic. Get it with the corn with this. This is sweet corn. This stuff is awesome. The ears aren't really big yet, but boy, that flavor. Salt, pepper, garlic. Put down some yellow peppers. jalapenos, some Mexican green onion. This gets really good, especially grilled. So the way I'm cooking this, it's more or less, it's a carne asada plate. I'm not making tacos or burritos. Like, this isn't a taco or burrito recipe. I will be making my own little personal tacos, but this is more, you know, how I like to order carne asada if I'm going to a restaurant. I love a nice carne asada dinner plate. All right, I'm gonna transfer the corn to this pellet side. Done. Putting the veg up to this pellet side here. Two onions down. There's that flat meat. It's very, very thin. Smell that, you know, the marinade hitting the hot coals and then vaporizing up just adds a lot more flavor, and it's a lot more pleasurable for me smelling this. It's awesome. So I'm doing the initial cook again with that grate, not quite 2 notches up from the bottom. Then I'm going to bring the heat up, get a nice char on this meat. All right, bring this up. Smelling that mesquite right now. You can see the very, very defined grains on this flat meat. All right, and we are done. Don't want to cook this stuff too long. It's a very thin piece of meat, so we don't want to dry it out. Get it out of the way here. Hit the plancha with some avocado oil. Just kind of wipe it down a little bit. A little thinner coat. And I'm doing little flour tortillas and also some corn tortillas. These were made yesterday at my local mercado. And anybody who likes Mexican food needs a tortilla warmer. Keeps the tortillas warm. And we're not making these crisp, we're just basically warming them up. Stay very, very soft. I love these little flour tortillas. Usually I'm a corn tortilla guy when it comes to tacos, but I love these little flour tortillas. They make a great taco too, especially a crispy taco with the crispy flour tortilla. Oh. These tortillas are done. I'm going to go ahead and go inside the house, prepare a nice carne asada plate, and I'll meet you here at the cutting board. And here we are. When I think of the perfect carne asada dinner, this is what I think of. I mean, I've got that carne asada, and you can just smell all those spices and that dark beer, you know, cooking as I was making these things on the grill. Some fresh avocado, the grilled onion, the grilled Mexican onion, some refried beans, some Mexican rice, radishes, those yellow peppers, that grilled corn, some lime. Lime just makes everything pop, you know, when you are kind of building those little tacos. Then I have a salsa verde molcajete. This is made with roasted tomatillo and roasted jalapeno peppers. And I have some red salsa. This is made with, again, tomatillo, but also roasted tomatoes and red jalapenos, also roasted. Then some finely minced cilantro and white onion. I know some people don't dig on cilantro. I do. Some people have a weird kind of a, I don't know if it's an allergy or something, but some people taste soap. I don't. So let's get into this. This is looking good. Corn. And I got to tell you, that El Fuego, it's just such a fun grill to cook on. There, that's nice. Kind of a little medium rare there in the center, which is what I wanted. I wanted the nice, you know, got that nice caramely exterior. It smells so good. Again, that Modelo is really, I can smell that dark, you know, that dark beer. I just think when you're doing this type of marinade and you're going to include beer, you want it to be pretty hearty beer. So what I do is I just take my tortilla, and I like these little flour tortillas. If I have the bigger flour tortillas, I'll tear them, but I also, again, love corn. Little carne, then I'll plop a little bit of the refried beans on here. The refried beans has a little cotija cheese, some cilantro on top, a little onion, just a little rice. And I'm not an advocate for rice like in burritos, but when I'm eating a plate like this, that's what I'm doing. A little of this fresh avocado, pop an onion in there, squeeze on some of that fresh lime, and I'm adding a little of the red salsa, and this is the hotter salsa, and some of this verde. Just a little pinch of the cilantro and onion. Cheers. Tortilla's nice and warm, nice and soft. Getting that pop from that, especially that red salsa. And then everything else starts coming into play and mellowing that out, you know, especially those beans. That carne asada is killer. I'm telling you, if you do this recipe, at least 8 hours in that marinade, but I highly suggest going 24. It's going to be so tender by the time you're eating it. And again, just almost like a reverse sear. I had a lot of charcoal in there, a lot of lump charcoal, and a lot of mesquite that I started the burn before I, you know, came out here to talk to you. And I started the cookout with the charcoal grate down at the very lowest level, and it still was radiating a lot of heat. I mean, I honestly should have put on my liners because I was feeling it, you know, through the gloves. But, you know, my thought was I wanted to give it more of a gentler cook, and then I wanted to give it a real hot sear, and it worked out perfectly. Perfectly. Like I said, there's no rhyme or reason when I'm in a Mexican restaurant eating this, or if we make it at home. I'm just sort of plopping things on randomly onto a tortilla, and then eating the peppers and the radishes and stuff as I go. Salsa is really good. And the green salsa, you know, has a nice kind of a tang to it. So they're playing well together. The mesquite's really coming through. That mesquite's a really good wood for grilling because it is so strong, so powerful that you'll get the flavor. It'll leave that flavor behind even on a pretty, you know, short grill, you know, grill time short. Anyway, thanks again for stopping by. I get asked all the time, El Patron or El Fuego Trio, and there's something that happens to me, and I'm being dead serious. I fall in love with the cooker that I'm using at the time. So like right now, the endorphins are pumping. I had a really good time cooking on this, the El Fuego Trio today, because I feel like I'm in front of, you know, a Santa Maria grill. There's just so much grill space. And again, you're feeling the heat, you're feeling the smoke. It's just very interactive. My standard answer is, and I stick with this answer, if you need or want a pellet grill in your life to make things easier, definitely go with this because it's the best of both worlds. You have a really good pellet grill and a really good grill, live fire grill and barbecue smoker. If a rotisserie is very important to you because people have mentioned, hey, where's the rotisserie on El Fuego Trio? Doesn't have one. If that's important to you and you don't really need or care about having an integrated pellet grill system, El Patron. I mean, it's, in my opinion, you can't go wrong with either one. El Patron's a smaller footprint if that's important to you. This thing's a beast. They're both beasts as far as the build quality, but this thing, it's a lot larger as far as the footprint than El Patron. But again, I can tell you, you can't go wrong with either one. They're both awesome grills, and I fall in love with whatever grill I'm using at the time. So, trying to be as non-biased as far as the two as I can, but that's going to be my standard answer from now on. But if you're new to the channel, you haven't subscribed yet, please consider hitting the sub button, ring the notification bell, make sure you have a radish in your hand, thumb it up. Leave comments down below if you want to see me do anything, or you have a comment about this cook, about this recipe. You want to criticize the Worcestershire sauce in Carne Asada, do it. See you on the next video. Cheers.